Some part of you must have always wanted to travel alone, right? And I had that wish inside my heart from a very long time. I actually wanted to travel alone and I wanted to go out of my comfort zone, travel with strangers to find out more about myself. And I actually could do that. And there are five incidents, which not such, but they are all unique in themselves. But there are five things that happened in my life which I want to share with the help of this video with you. And I'm telling you, you will be able to relate with mostly everything that I'm going to be sharing with you. There must be something in your heart, something that you must have felt, and probably you might not have still gotten a chance to actually live those dreams. And I'm going to push you to follow your heart if you listen to this video. Let's get into those five incidents that I want to share with you. The first one is my trip to Oli. Oli is a very beautiful village. It's a very small village in Himalayas. And I randomly just abruptly decided that I want to travel to mountains and I want to do it without my family. I want to go on my own. And it was a group of almost 35 people. There were approximately 3 or 4 buses. I don't really remember now. That was 2 years ago. And I went with this group of strangers. It was a beautiful trip.
This trek is absolutely mesmerizing. The snow everywhere, and I still have to walk for roughly 1.5 more hours. Just trying to be ahead of the rest. Just don't want to be the last one to finish. I've done treks before, but this one is hard because there's a lot of snow. It's quite cold.
Back side.
I enjoyed myself so much. Though I am not a person who makes friends easily. I am one of those people who are always sitting in the corner, not talking to anyone. But expecting me to open up and come and talk to you myself, I don't think I will be able to ever do that. So that's how it happened. I went, and mostly I was too much into myself, not speaking, because that's how I am. I don't do it on purpose. And then many people came up and they started talking to me, and we actually became friends. I shared my room with a girl. She was a very sweet girl, and then there were several others I ended up being friends with. One of them I even fought for. So there was this guy, and then there was this girl. This girl was constantly bullying this guy. A bully is the word. She was actually bullying him. Okay. And this guy was not saying anything. I noticed it for 2 days before saying a word. So I kept quiet, and then finally I could not keep quiet anymore, and I actually started to fight. And I was shouting at the top of my voice. The entire bus was listening to me. Everyone sitting in the bus was listening to me, and they were shocked because the entire trip I was quiet. And then while coming back to our city, I was shouting, and they were all shocked to see me in that avatar. They could not believe that it is the same girl. And I think I did the right thing. And that boy came back to me and he said thank you to me later, that I liked the way you stood up for me. But anyway, that was one incident. I think it's been really long that I actually picked up a fight like that. It's been years. I haven't fought. I felt nice that day. I actually felt nice. Anyway, it went like that because that's how I am. I cannot take injustice. I cannot. Be it happening to me, be it happening to anyone else. If you do wrong to someone, you're going to face trouble with me. Trust me. So that was one trip, and I urge you, if you've been feeling like going to mountains all by yourself, do it right away. there is never going to be a right moment. That was a trip of 3 days, and it was one of the best trips of my life. I did trekking, I walked on the mountains, I sat by myself, I listened to my heart, I listened to music, I listened to people singing. So there was a person, he had a beautiful voice, he sang a song to me, and I asked him to sing that song, and probably I'm going to include a clip here and there somewhere in the video, and I'm going to make you listen to that clip. It was a beautiful trip, and I went there alone. Somehow I didn't really miss my family. I enjoyed that little time of the me time. And I think that is going to happen to you also if you take that chance. Let's move to the second thing that I want to share with you. Did I ever tell you I did paragliding? Paragliding is, uh, there's so much I want to share about it, but it's such a small moment to share. It was amazing. I remember this guy, we had to climb up the mountain. It was a steep mountain, and I had to climb all the way up. And we went up there, and there was this person, my assistant, who was supposed to fly with me, because obviously you don't do it all by yourself alone. You're new, obviously you can't jump from the mountain. So he was preparing me mentally. Madam, परेशानी नहीं होगी, डर नहीं लगेगा, चिंता मत करना, कोई बात नहीं है वो. And I was so happy, and my mind wasn't really working properly, and I was like कि पता नहीं क्यों समझा रहा है ये मुझे. But anyway, we got our gear up and everything, and then he said, मैडम जब मैं बोलूँ तो पैर उठा लेना, ठीक है? So we had to run, and then I had to fold my legs so that we could fly from the mountain. That is how it's supposed to be done. And he said, दौड़ो, now run. And I started to run, and he was right behind me. We were supposed to be flying together, so we started to run. And then even before he could say कि पैर उठा लो, I took off. I folded my legs, and then for a brief moment he was actually carrying me on his legs. So he was running with me, I folded my legs, and now my weight was on him, and then both of us jumped from the mountain. And I'm telling you, there were trees right there beneath me, and I was in the sky, and I'm telling you, honest, absolutely honest, I cried that day. That moment I was crying because I was very happy. That moment I have that feeling that, I wish I could have wings. I wanted to fly, and that was my dream coming true. I was actually flying like a bird, and I could not control the happiness, the joy that I was feeling at that moment. And there were tears, and I was just awestruck. I was looking down below on all these trees, so down below. I was right in the sky. I could not believe myself. It was, I'm telling you, for sure one of the happiest moments of my life. That feeling of detachment, that feeling that, you're just, I don't know how to explain that. You're not attached to anyone. You have no strings attached. That was the feeling that I felt, and I loved it so much. Paragliding is a beautiful thing. You must do it. Please don't waste your time taking pictures in the sky. For God's sake, don't do that. When you are paragliding, don't use a camera. Fly. Experience that moment. That moment is important. Those pictures are not important. Let's move to the third one. There was this day I felt that I am gonna do something crazy today. I picked up my scooty, and back to back I saw 3 movies in theater, movie halls, okay? I saw 3 movies in PVRs, and all 3 of them in different movie halls, okay? So I went to one mall, saw a movie, got out, went to the other mall, saw another movie, then got out, and then moved to the third one, saw the movie, and it was 9 o'clock in the night when I reached home. So one complete day, a movie day, all alone. I did it all by myself. One very nice day of my life. I remember the 3 movies. You can check the timeline. I think I saw Nirja. No, I remember I saw Nirja. That was the first movie I caught. Then I saw Fan. I saw Fan, Shah Rukh Khan, Fan. Then after that, I saw The Huntsman. The Huntsman. It is a movie. It's a Snow White movie. And the third movie I could not understand because it was some prequel or sequel, I don't know, and I had not seen the previous part. So it wasn't making much sense. I had to just anyway watch three. So I just went and I saw. And that's how it happened. I enjoyed. I spent 12 hours of my day watching movies and traveling on my scooty, having popcorn. I had one very nice day that day. I really enjoyed. And I think this is one thing you should also try for yourself. Let's move to the fourth one. Okay, then there was this thing that happened, which is very, very long ago. I was probably in class 11th or 12th, don't really remember. It was very, very long ago. I had gone to a place to pray, and there was this girl, both her legs were not working, and she was lying on the staircase and she was crying in full volume. She was crying, she was shouting and crying. I could not take it. It was just too hard to listen to her cries. So I went up to her and I asked her, "What's wrong? Tell me a story." So she started crying again. She hugged me and she told me that she is miserable because she has no money. Her legs do not work and she has a mother and she does not know how to feed her family. So they were miserable, they had no money, they had nothing to eat. And I think she did not have father. I don't really know what happened to her father. And she was actually asking God for help at that time. So I said, fine, you give me your number and let's talk. Okay. I took her number. I went home. I did not have money. Of course, I did not have money. So what I did was, I remember I asked my papa and I asked his brother and I asked my brother and I asked all of them to give me some money. And I could gather 3,500 rupees, 3,500 rupees I could gather. And then I called this girl up and I said, I want to meet you. I went to meet her and I handed over that money and I said, start something of your own. Okay. And I'm not telling you this story because I want to tell my story of magnanimity. No, that's not the intent. The intent is to let you know that if you have that feeling and you don't have money, you want to help someone, there are other ways of doing that. The intent is important. If you have the intent, you will be able to manage anything that you want to accomplish. Okay. Plus, the other thing that I want to say over here is that if you have that feeling that you want to help someone, don't stop for another day. Do it right away. Do it now. You never know when you're going to die. So do something right now when you're alive so that you don't regret later. Okay. Never miss a chance of helping someone. I went up to her. I gave her that money. And a couple of days later, she called me and she said that, Didi, I've started my business. Imagine. She was a very young girl. I forgot to tell you, she was younger than me. I think she must be around the age when you are in class 8th or 9th. And she said that, Didi, I've opened a shop of my own and I'm selling cigarettes. I don't know what she was selling. She was selling some pop, nutcut and dalmot, all that stuff, namkeen. And she opened a small shop of her own. I mean, that's what she told me. I never actually went and saw. But she told me that she's opened that shop and she has started making money from it a couple of days later. And she was so happy. And then she gave the phone to her mother. Her mother also talked to me and both of them were so happy. And then a few months, a good period of 1 year went by. They used to call and they used to just talk and ask me if I'm good, if I'm okay. And then my number changed. And of course, I could not keep in touch. Now it's been a decade, more than a decade. And those times are past. The next one that I want to share with you is the last one on the list. Yeah, the cliff jumping incident. Many of you are already aware of it. The people who do not know, I'll share the story with you. I was standing on this cliff almost 20-25 feet tall. Okay, from the water height. I don't know how to swim, so I'm obviously scared of water. I was standing there. It was Rishikesh. And I was standing there for almost 15-20 minutes and I was blocking other people's path also because I was not jumping. I was scared and I did not want to go back because I wanted to jump. So there was this guy right behind me. I asked him, "Okay, bhaiya, please push me. Okay, I'm unable to jump. Please push me when I say. Okay, when I ask you to, just push me." And he said, "Okay." And without listening to my instructions, he just pushed me into the water. Okay, well, of course I was wearing the jacket. He knew that I'm going to be fine, and he did not wait for my instructions. He just threw me in the water, and I fell, and I was inside the level of water for almost 5-7 seconds. Oh my god, that feeling when you're surrounded with water all around you, green water, and you cannot breathe obviously, and you don't know if you're going to be alive in the next 1 minute, because that is the kind of feeling a person who is a non-swimmer gets inside the water, right? That's very natural. And then I came up, then I emerged, and I was panicking. I was angry, I was panicky, and I was just, hitting water like this with my hands, and I was asking for help. Bhaiya, help, somebody help, help, help. And then there was somebody in the water. It stretched his hand to me, and I held on to his hand. मैंने बोला भैया मेरे को कोने में पहुंचा दो, and then he dragged me and left me at the shore. That's how it happened. So that is one event I will never be able to forget. And that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope you enjoyed this video, because these were 5 very classy experiences of my life. Probably they may not be sounding very classy to you. Probably they may be sounding stupid to you, but they are important to me, so I wanted to share with you. And please let me know in the comments if there's something that you learned from this video. I would love to know. I would love to know your thoughts. If there's anything that has similarly happened with you, just let me know in the comments. Okay, I'll be back with another video. You take care of yourself. Bye.